Crypto valuations are in trouble. Their support levels have been breaking down and their major support levels are coming up yet again. In this video, we're going to update the major market caps of cryptocurrency, look at Bitcoin again as the market is churning the retail investors and taking their BTC. And of course, it's not all bad news. Within these times that the market is churning out, going sideways, we do have some good news of development in the space. So let's crack on with the video. If you like it, smash the likes and subscribe to the channel. Still 30% of you are unsubscribed. Click that button down below. Let's crack on with this video. So total 3 is the total market cap of everything excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can see here on the 21st, which is where we had that big down day for a lot of altcoins, it broke the major, or one of the major support levels, as it had already touched once, twice, 3 times, and broke down on the 4th time. Another pretty good Gann rule to use if you're interested in adding it to your investment plans. The next major support level here is 580 billion. So this is the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies, as I said earlier, except Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is basically all of your altcoins. So the 580 needs to hold up. This is the all-time high to the COVID crash low back in March of 2020. Below that, you've got the other support levels here at around 400 billion. But from that point of where we currently are, around 640 to the downside, to these previous support levels, that's another 30 odd percent. So that's the entire market cap. So some cryptos could do a little less, some cryptos could do a little more, but we're looking at around that 30 to 40% drop on altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just repeating that again. So we've already broken down the 760. Next support is 580, and then we have 390. So pay attention to this chart if you are still looking to invest in altcoins on the dips. Personally, you don't have to take this as advice, and you definitely shouldn't, not financial advice. Personally, and my members know in Patreon and Premium, links are in the top of the description, that I'm not buying a lot of altcoins at all. The most recent one I bought was CRV, and it was a very small position. Even that is getting hammered. So at the moment, the altcoins are not faring very well, and it looks like a lot of their Bitcoin value is also dropping away, as we have seen with the likes of Solana. You can see from this chart, it's really hanging on by a dear thread at this point, and this is something that I was posting over on Twitter as well. So follow the links down below if you're interested in Twitter. Use the official links. Don't get scammed out there. That's why they're in the video descriptions. Don't talk to other people in messages and lose your crypto that way. All right. So Bitcoin on this tweet, looking at retail amateurs getting churned up in the market if they're trying to play this market on short-term swings, making a few percent here and there. So the 50% holds out again. This is an extension, again, extension using our range. You can see it hit 50%, bounced back, got rejected. Now we've bounced to the upside off another major 50%. So the churn continues. You can see I put this up a day or so ago, and the churn, yet again, we've bounced off, and then we're still in this grind between our mid-30s level. So the 36 is a really important part here for the market to hold up. You know, we've been watching this for some time. It's the major 50% level. So major support. When you start to break down from this, we'll probably see that downside sooner rather than later, unfortunately. But at the moment, holding up, getting some higher lows on the shorter term time frame. So hopefully we can get back to the high 30s and potentially low 40s. The area that I'm looking for is the blue line. This is the blue line. This is the downtrend. So hopefully Bitcoin can slow the bleed, because you can see this bleed has sped up because we've gotten further away from the blue downtrend line. Now, if you're wondering what these are, go back and check out yesterday's video. I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. So if we can slow this bleed, churn sideways for a bit between the low and the $40,000 level, so basically 32 and 40,000, and then break the downtrend, that'll slow the bleed. It doesn't mean we can't go lower than 32,000. It just means we'll probably be churning out slower and slower. The total market cap with all of the cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, this has also broken down. The lows gave way, and we're back down to our major 50% level here, 1.5 trillion. If you remember back a couple of weeks ago, we were looking at the 50% level higher up. So this was the bear market range up to the all-time high. And that was at 2.07. The market hit it, and you can see that it got rejected at the 50% level. That's why we always follow these things. And then the 2.17 was where we were aiming for to break the downtrend. Again, the market has sped up away from that trend line, which possibly means that we might see a bit of a churn here and an attempt to reclaim that trend line and just basically slow the bleed because we have sped up, and that's a sign that we're oversold. So the market wants to rebalance itself. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see that. In terms of these levels, I'd be looking to the underside here, the 1.84 to somewhere around that 1.9 as a resistance level. This, for me, don't follow it, not financial advice, would be a level that I would look to sell out of some of my altcoin positions. I'm not saying all of them, but potentially some of them which I think will be weaker. So I'll be looking to sell these bounces on the rise. So when we get the rally, sell the rally. In terms of the fear and greed, we're at 24. So the fear is lessening only slightly from the market. If we get up to 25 or 26, we go from extreme to just regular fear. So the market is getting used to these lower prices. Remember when we did hit the mid 30s, it was crazy times. We were at 13, 11, 13, 12, and now we've jumped up into the 20s, yet we're still at the same prices. Turning to the news, and a lot of this is feeling like a repeat of the bear market of 2018, 2019. I'm not saying it's the same time frame, and I don't think it'll be the same time frame. This cycle has been different in terms of the structure, but in terms of how the analysis and the rules work, it happens time and time again. We've looked at the 50%, it keeps happening. Let's look at the news. SEC scrutinizing crypto firms over interest-paying services. So think of your things like crypto.coms, anything that's giving out interest rates. Now, the important point to note here is the agency is not accusing any of these firms of wrongdoing. They're basically just trying to figure out whether they should be offering these as securities with the SEC. So they just need to get into some of their regulations. Again, market is down, gives them some time to get in and do what they think is right in terms of rules. The other piece here is the SEC delays decisions on ETFs. So of course we're waiting on ETFs for Bitcoin to come out. Investment firms are still trying to get Bitcoin ETFs approved. So there's still work going on behind the scenes, a lot of it by the looks of it, a lot of massive valuations as well, but it's not the time in the cycle. And of course the cycle always wins out at the end of the day. If the market is going up, the cycle is bullish, all the good news just helps it on. All the bad news gets pushed aside. When the cycle is down, when the market is feeling down, it doesn't matter if we've got a ton of good news, the market is still going to keep going down. So that is the difference when we're looking at in terms of news and how personally I like to use it. I can see there's a lot of good happening. Market is down. For me, time to be buying. So the SEC postponing decisions for ARK21 shares, Bitcoin ETF until April. Another time is April. So let's pay some attention to the market at those dates. You know, that's the way I like to look at these and how I'll continue to invest. The regulator is also has also rejected spot Bitcoin ETF proposals from a number of companies. So that's your spot compared to the futures ETFs. Valkyrie files for a Bitcoin mining ETF. So this continues on, as I said in the background, just using the headlines here. Coinbase close to listing Solana ecosystem tokens. More work going on in the ecosystem. Bitcoin regulation needed in Russia, not a ban. So last week, it was a ban. Everyone was freaking out. You missed the news. You should have been onto this. That was the comments that I was seeing. Now, Bitcoin regulation needed, not a ban. Crypto infrastructure firm, valuation of 3.25 billion with a raise of 200 million, an 800 billion valuation. This is for FTX US. As they raise 400 million. The parent company is at a valuation of 25 billion. They have a 1.2 million strong user base, trading 67 billion in spot crypto. So that's spot. That's not any of their leverage products. So think about the fees they're making on 67 billion in spot crypto. Not only that, but then of course their fees on the leveraged futures, anything leverage that they're trading over there as well. Ethereum developer Consensus poised to double its valuation in pending fundraise. Rough valuation of 6.5 to 7 billion, whereas before they were valued around 3.2 billion just 2 months ago. So double the valuation in a little over 2 months while the market is declining. So they're not going to talk about their valuation here. That's the company. Former Goldman Sachs raises 35 million for a startup. Still, more money is flowing into here while the market is down. Kathy Wood's ARK Invest predicts Bitcoin could exceed 1 million by 2030. Now, I thought I could put this as a headline on a title, but honestly, this would be super clickbait. And I don't want to touch that at this point. I just want to share it with you. Maybe I'll use it one time in the future. You let me know in the comments down below, is this a good type of clickbait title. Smash the like, subscribe if you haven't already, bell notification icon. Join us in Patreon and Premium. Links are down below. And of course, SwiftX and Bybit if you're looking to trade cryptocurrencies for your thousands of dollars of sign-up bonuses. See you guys at the next video. Until then, have more fun to get more done.